Minister, my question is to ask you what your plans are to address the acute shortage of ASD classes for post-primary school students in Kilkenny, and what measures will the department be taking to address the shortage in order to prepare for the high number of children with autism who are currently in primary school in Kilkenny, who will obviously be finishing primary school in the coming years, and who are in need of a place in an ASD class at post-primary level, and for you to comment on that matter. Thanks.
Okay, Gormaigad Cahirla, agus Gormaigad Chakta Funchion and Cash Foster, agus Cash Kierna, agus Islair Gove and Cash Shaw, into Pranya Foster, agus Boilham, no, a hand as a goal hugged Funchion and Cash Shaw Ardu. The National Council for Special Education, which is an independent agency of my department, is responsible for the planning, coordinating and advising on education provision for children with special educational needs. This includes taking account of the flow of students from primary into post-primary. The Council ensures that schools in an area can, between them, cater for all children who have been identified as needing special class placements. The NCSE has informed my department that they are satisfied that there are sufficient post-primary autism special class placements in Kilkenny to meet identified need for the forthcoming school year. And can I just point out the conversations that I've been having with you, Deputy, over the last couple of months is saying differently. You're picking up different messages on the ground. So I think we have to look at meeting where there's a weakness in the anecdotal and also the feedback here from my own officials. 160 new special classes have been opened for the 2018-19 school year, which means that there are now 1,459 special classes in place compared to 548 in 2011. The number of special classes in County Kilkenny have increased from 5 in 2011-12 to 26 in 2018-2019. Of these, 22 are autism special classes, 2 autism early intervention classes, 13 primary autism classes and 7 post-primary autism classes. Individual school boards of management are responsible for the establishment of special classes. It is open to any school to make application to the NCSE to establish a class. In deciding where to establish a special class in an area, the NCSE take account of the current and projected demand and the available school accommodation, both current and planned.
Thanks, Minister. Yeah, I mean, you made reference to the fact that this is an issue I've been raising on a number of occasions. And out of that, I've met with even more parents. So every time I speak about this, we have more people contacting us. These parents don't want to have to be coming into my office in an evening to tell their story, and they shouldn't have to do it. But obviously there's a very serious issue here. There's some definite major breakdown with the NCSE, because time and time again they tell us there's enough places. There clearly isn't enough places. I think you may have said that there were 7, if I heard you correctly, post-primary places. There isn't. There's not 7 schools at secondary school level offering ASD classes to students. And if they are, well, they're obviously hiding somewhere. So, I mean, what happens in the situation where a secondary school is telling a parent and telling a child there is no space here for you? You have people who do very well, who progress very well in an ASD class at primary level, and then they're forced into mainstream secondary school, often not even having the assistance of a special need assistant or resource hours, and then they completely fall through the cracks of the education system. It's absolutely not good enough, and I would ask that you would meet the parents in Kilkenny about this, because I don't accept what the NCSE is saying. It's not the first time I've raised this issue, and we consistently get the same response. It's not the reality on the ground. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, thanks to the Deputy once again. And look, with every new school build, there is provision in the new school build, and even for major additional capital expansion of a school, the general trend is that there is an inbuilt provision for autism classes, special classes within those new schools. Now, I am aware, with a cohort of 4,000 primary and secondary schools in this country, there's a lot of old buildings, buildings that are challenging from the point of view of providing this service on site. I know there is an opportunity for schools, if board of managements decide to build or decide that they're going to have a special class, they can look at reconfiguring existing spaces. That's a difficulty because a lot of our schools are already at capacity, they're maxed out, but there is a provision to construct additional accommodation as well. And just to re-emphasise and reiterate again, if the Board of Management comes forward with the idea and suggestion of looking and providing for a special class, the NCSE will meet them, the CNOs will meet them, and I think which might be helpful in this instance, I meet the NCSE on a regular basis. I think at this stage what I would like to do is to meet with them on the specific issue with Kilkenny, and I'd be happy to organise a meeting to have you included in that as well.
Trucker second, 30 seconds. Yeah, Tom, move.
Thanks, Minister. Thanks, Chair. I would appreciate that because I've met with the NCSE myself last year at some stage, and like that they say there's enough spaces, but there clearly isn't enough spaces. So I would appreciate if you arrange a meeting. But again, I would appeal to you to meet with the parents in Kilkenny so you can see firsthand what they're dealing with. And what I'm hearing is that it's completely up to a Board of Management then to decide that they need an ASD class. I mean, what happens in a situation where there's a clear demand and Board of Management maybe don't want to deal with this issue? That's another reality that we have to accept. And I think a lot of people don't want to say that. There are some excellent schools and some excellent teachers, but some of them just don't want to know about it and they don't want to have an ASD class. What happens in that situation? And what do we say to the parents coming into us desperate that in September and next September they don't know where their child is going to secondary school? And I want to make the point that at this time of year, children who don't have an additional need are taking their entrance exams for secondary school. That's not an option for children who need an ASD class because they don't even know if they're going to have a school, let alone say an entrance exam. And it's not acceptable that continuously we say that they can have a different education system. We've created a two-tier education system, and I would appeal to you, Minister, to change that, given that you're relatively new in the brief, and I feel you have a genuine interest in this. So again, I would ask for you to meet with the parents in Kilkenny and to arrange that meeting where maybe we can have some parents' reps speak directly to the NCSE. Thanks, Chair.
Well, quickly, Minister.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. No, look, I think the Deputy's been very constructive here, and certainly we'll organise that and we'll see how that pans out. But I just want to say we've a duty in this House as legislators to get the good message out. You'll be no different to me. You're in schools, you're in primary schools and you're in secondary schools. And the schools that have special classes, the schools that are embracing the social model of inclusion and ensuring that people with special different challenging conditions, whether it's dyspraxia, whether it's dyslexia, whether it's autism, they are the schools that are richer for it. They are the learning environments that are richer for doing that. And you can feel it, you can feel the harmony, you can feel the learning that's going on. And the schools that embrace the special classes are the schools that I feel energised by when I go to visit. And the message has to go out to other boards of management that there's an opportunity here, an opportunity to ensure that where you're providing for children with all forms of disability and challenges, be it from complex medical need to ensuring that we've got the provision of different challenging behaviours, that those are the students that are actually going to enrich the school environment, and they become the leaders within that school, and the people around them, be it SNAs, people working within that inclusive atmosphere, provides the learning environment that we all aspire to.
Sorry.